Tell us first off, how did you initially get the role of Brandon for Alien Surf Girls?
Okay. Look, I probably only got into acting like a year or so before I actually got cast for the role, so I was very new to the whole audition stage and everything. And it was basically, I got the scene sent through. I felt fairly confident in terms of when I read it. It was quite an enjoyable character. And then I just took a day off work and went and did the audition. Fairly confident in terms of the feedback I got from the casting director. He said, "Oh, you'll hear back soon." So I thought soon was within like a week or a couple of days, but it was 3 weeks before I heard. And they got another call back, and I met with the director, Colin Buds, and we really connected in the room. And that was another day that, like, I was working an engineering job, and I took off half the day just to go audition for it. So it was a bit of a frantic mess, and in between exams for uni. And Colin Buds really appreciated that I took the time and was the person I am, and just so honest and down to earth. And yeah, I came out of that audition a bit confused with how I went, but I knew that I connected with Colin. So we didn't hear back for another couple of weeks, and I kind of, everyone asked, how'd you go? Did you get the job? And because it was one of the first main TV series that I auditioned for, everyone was just so supportive and encouraging. And I kept on telling people, just forget it, don't worry about it, I'll probably miss out, who cares? There's 700 other people that would have auditioned. And then the next day, after I told my family just to forget about it, I got a call and saying that I'll be up in Queensland, so moving 2 hours away. In 2 days or 4 days, I had to fly up. So it was a quick turnaround. Just changed my life. I was still trying to study and finish off my final year exams for engineering, and yeah, it all changed really quickly.
Wow.
So yeah,
definitely worth it though. Like you said, we couldn't think of a better Brandon though. You fit the role perfectly.
Thank you. There was a couple aspects of Brandon that I couldn't really fit in terms of being an absolute pro surfer. I learned the surfing and then I got fairly confident by the end, but I'll admit now that I had a stunt double out there, as we all did,
Really?
and he made me look like an absolute charm. It was great.
Wow, very interesting. So what's it actually out there like when you're actually surfing? I mean, because we don't surf, so I mean, is there sharks actually there? Do you have to be kind of leery, or?
Look, on the eastern coast, and depending the time of the day you surf, if it's late afternoon, then there's more of a chance that you get sharks. Depends on the season as well. But look, the coastlines are so well maintained by the lifeguards. They're always flying over with choppers and planes just to look out for sharks. They can't afford having tourists that go to the Gold Coast swimming and get taken by sharks every day. So look, it's really safe. But it's often like when there's a couple shots that we're just sitting out there on our own, and you look back and you just see all the film crew and extras and people just standing watching. And you're the only one out there because it blocked off the whole beach. And you do think that if there was a shark, this would make it all interesting and gets the heart pumping. But yeah, no, look, it's fairly safe overall.
Well, they'll catch it on film as well. I mean, what a show would that be if there's sharks? I mean, my gosh.
Yeah, that might be in the behind the scenes. I'm not sure if they can write it in too quickly, but yeah.
Exactly. So, well, from our perspective watching the show, it's addictive. I mean, like, the first episode, I'm like, what is this show? I gotta watch it. And now every week, I'm addicted. I can't miss an episode. I can't. It's like, nope, can't miss it. So.
Yeah, well, it's the same when I was reading it. I thought being a children's series, might be a bit too young in the mind, but I loved it. I loved every episode I kept on reading, and especially, I'm not sure what episode you're up to, but the last 13 episodes, I just couldn't put them down. It was just every episode that I got, just kept on reading, and my character gets really involved by the end of it. Like, the whole story kind of revolves around him, and I just loved where they took the story. I couldn't have picked it from when I got cast, and I didn't know that my character was going to be involved that much by the end of the series, so it was really exciting for me just reading as well as an actor. It's good.
Well, right now we're at episode, I think this is the final week, and I think Thursday or Friday it's ending. So we're at right now, you're going to find the boat with your parents. That's coming up.
Okay, alright, well, see, the story that I have behind my parents disappearing is just that because I'm adopted, my adopted parents just told me that they disappeared just one night in the middle of a storm. They never found the boat. And when the boat turns up, it has been gone for 13 or 14 years, and then it sparks this whole investigation into what really happened to them. And that's when the last kind of 13 episodes really takes on board is the connection between the boat and me and my parents and what really happened. And was there something else that's so look, I won't spoil the story too much, but hopefully you guys will get to see the rest of them just after a little break. I'm not sure what they're going to do, but
oh, I hope so too, because when they said the final weekend, I was like, what do you mean the final week? We want to see all of it. So
I know,
fingers crossed, please.
Fans saying the final week. I'm like, what? No, there's plenty more.
We'll have to see, though. I don't know. And when it says, like, if you want to pursue a season 2 and want to get the fans to do that, those won't be the season 2 episodes, right? I mean, they're going to, if they continue those, then there'll be a season 2?
Yeah. So, for our understanding, there was 26 episodes for season 1. And we were all contracted for, up to 3 seasons. So that's another 40-odd episodes.
Wow.
At the moment, we haven't gone ahead with season 2 yet. They're waiting. Look, it was a bit of an up-and-down situation in terms of the economy. I guess that's easy to blame it on. But they didn't say yes straight away for a season 2. So it's just the response from the audience and networks will then determine whether we go again. I can't wait. But, I'd love to. It's really fun.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about the cast. How do you like working with them, and what's a day like for you on the set?
The cast. Look, it was great. I didn't predict any of the cast at all. They were complete. When you read the character breakdowns, you get something in mind, but really it was completely different. Luckily, I chose 2 good-looking girls for me to kind of fall in love with and kiss and all the rest. So that was great. My brother, Kenji Fitzgerald, we ended up living together. I wanted to cut down on prices for living expenses, so we ended up going halves in rent, and we shared accommodation, which was really cool. It got us pretty close. So we got on each other's nerves as well as practicing scenes and all the rest. Look, a day on set, we can get picked up between, the earliest I got picked up was 2:30 a.m. Average is about 4:30. And then you have breakfast about 6, so you head into makeup, costume. You'll then have breakfast. We'll read lines over brekkie with our we had an acting coach that was just there to bounce ideas off us and run us through and push our limits, which was really fun. So we did that over brekkie. Then after brekkie, we'd either go do a block through if we're in the studios, and then they would set up, do all the lighting. We would then head back, do final checks, come back in, run a day, have lunch about 11 for 45 minutes, and then run through till about 4:30. They want to do overtime, they'll keep going, then they'll drive us home, probably 6. So look, they vary between 12, 14, 16-hour days. You just deal with it. It's part of the whole acting, and every actor you'll talk to, they do a ridiculous amount of hours, and you get home and then you got to, plan dinner because they don't feed you everything, and then you got to hit the gym and then learn the lines for the next day or so. So look, it does get fairly hectic, and there's not too much time for social media or just calling your family. I did cut them out a bit, which was hard, but it was just so busy. Like the weeks just fly by. You just look forward to that one Saturday off because Sunday, you're going to be learning lines for the next week, and it's fairly hectic.
So when they say it's a busy schedule, it really is then. It really is.
It is. Like if you got a bit part, it's fun. And my character Brandon definitely started off fairly casual, a couple of days a week. Yeah. By the end of it, I was there every day, and I was just looking forward just to a day off so I could sleep in. But you were just naturally waking up, 4, 5 a.m. Even when you weren't, working on the weekends. It was crazy. Yeah.
Wow, interesting. Do you talk to the cast now? Do you see them?
Yeah. I got really close with Philippa, who plays Amber, and I was recently in LA doing pilot season, and I caught up with her a lot, and she's still over there, and she's a great girl, and I really like her as a friend, and we talk about a lot of personal things, and she has to approve all my girlfriends from now on. So she's seen me pick a few that have hurt me. So she's like, "Look, Andrew, I'll pick the next, okay?" So I have to forward all their details to her, unfortunately. Lucy, who played Zoe, she was really fun and really random at times. Just a great person to be around. Jess, who played Kiki, she is just so genuine and just she says what she feels. It's great. She's just so open. I visited her probably a month ago when I flew up to Queensland again. Kenji, I haven't caught up with Kenji. He's been out of contact for a bit. I try and catch him on emails and Facebook, but he's in and out of LA and Sydney, flying back and forth. And then Paige, who plays my girlfriend, my first girlfriend. She's surfing a lot. I don't think she's done any acting work since, but she's a cool person to speak to as well. She's always got so much energy, and it's just, yeah, it's great.
Very awesome cast. I know we couldn't have picked better people for everybody. I mean, love the cast, so.
Thanks.
Very cool. And then tell us also, if you can have like a dream episode, kind of just anything happen for Brandon or an episode, what would you like to see happen?
Look, I don't want to spoil the story, but because one of the episodes I didn't pick, and that's one that I would definitely want to play as an actor. So I really did get spoiled. They took the character exactly where I would want it to go, and it was completely out of this world. So hopefully you guys will see it, because it's I don't want to spoil the story. No, I won't spoil it.
All right.
But look, I guess for him to completely give up surfing and then take on a complete different thing, so whether it be horse riding like his brother or just get more involved with his brother, because they do start off fairly opposite in terms of Brandon seeing Luca as a geek and bullying him, where, in real life, brothers are really close. They do give each other crap, but they really are close. I'd like a bit more of that connection with him. Yeah, well, I can't say too much more than what I actually got in terms of what they wrote in, because it's really fun, whether it be superpowers or yeah, we'll leave it there.
Wow. Well, now I'm looking forward to what's going to happen in the finale now. Now I want to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, look, it's the whole series is based around these girls trying to get home. So by episode 26, we hope to have an answer. So I'll leave it with you guys.
Okay. And then since the show is based on aliens, do you believe aliens really exist out there? What do you have to say on that?
Oh, that's a hard one. Look, I used to always watch Discovery Channel and National Geographic, and I'd see all the crop circles and how they were made, and there were so many conspiracy theories, and I just fell into the belief that there is something out there that's doing it, whether it's a group of people or it is a message sent from extraterrestrial life. I can't really say whether I fully believe in alien forms, whether it's just energy or an impulse of life or something like that. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly.
Right. And how about also in Australia now? Tell us what's a day in the life for you? What do you like doing in your free time when you're not acting?
Yeah. Look, I was away home for probably 7 months. So it was really, really fun to get back on the farm. I'm a country boy, and often a day will be out on the farm, whether it be driving the tractor or riding motorbikes, mowing grass, helping mum with the animals. I've got multiple dogs here to play with. I'm also a firefighter, so there's a lot of volunteer work that I do as well for the community. And that's usually at least one day a week or a couple hours a week that I'm training or helping out the little kids, the juniors, train up. A lot of exercises in that. Yeah, and then at the university, I'm still finishing off my civil engineering, so I get into uni a couple hours a week. Well, actually, not a couple hours a day, sorry. Which will finish by the end of the year. Hopefully I'll graduate from civil engineering. Yeah, and then there's all the work that I do too in terms of trying to get some other money in. I run a storage business that I created myself, and I work for a civil engineering firm as a transport engineer. And there's heaps of other stuff that I just do in between my time. It's a fairly busy life.
Well, you're a guy of all trades. Is there anything you can't do?
Yeah, sing. Yeah, I'm trying to change my limits. At the moment, so I'd love to.
Interesting. Yeah, practice a little guitar, get something going, couple covers.
Yeah. I never got into the music. We've got a grand piano here and guitar, but I never got into it. So maybe I should get more on the artsy side and really be romantic and light some candles and sing a song. Yeah.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah.
And then also tell us, anything else are you working on? Any other projects? Anything we can look forward to?
Look, there isn't any actual projects that I'm working on at the moment. There's a couple in pre-production, but you're never sure whether they're going to go ahead or not, so I won't get too excited on any of them. At the moment, it's just auditioning for the soapy roles down in Australia, so Home and Away and Neighbours. There's a couple feature films that I'm auditioning for over in the States. But at the moment, it's just me just trying to work out a craft and still study acting, so I'm doing a couple hours, 6 hours a week on a Sunday, being my only day off. My manager gets me into the studio and just work scenes and try and work out a technique for me to break down and really, just become a better actor myself before I do take on the bigger roles and really let myself out there. Because as soon as I finish the degree, I'll then just put all my time into the acting and see where that goes.
That's true. Then you'll have everything covered as well, like you said, so you can fall back on one or the other. So that's good.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because at the moment it's just kind of, you read it, you see what instinctively comes to you, and you build on that, and you create a character and try and relate to things. But it's a bit broad. I think I need to be more specific, and we'll see where we go.
Well, what would be a dream role for you? Where would you like to see yourself act, if anywhere?
Look, I've always loved Quentin Tarantino, so it would be maybe like a character in his films. I absolutely loved Kill Bill, all those series. So whether it be maybe it'd be like a Drive character with Gosling. How he played that. That was fascinating. I love that movie. So it's a mix and match. I haven't actually got an ideal role that I've thought of at the moment, but maybe something that's close to who I am, but a real mix. Yeah, a little twist.
Good one. And then also, what TV shows do you find yourself watching nowadays? Anything in particular?
40% of our television is crap, and 60% from the States, which is good. I've just gotten into Game of Thrones and absolutely love that. I'm a couple series behind, but I'm getting there. Breaking Bad, I love that, and that was a couple years ago. What else is there? Game of Thrones is probably the one that's on my download list at the moment. Yeah.
Good ones. And then also, we love your Australian accent. You got to tell us, is there any like lingo or anything we can pick up on? Anything?
Oh no. Look, we shorten a lot of words. So when we say afternoon, we'll say arvo. So ARVO. So I'll see in the arvo. What else is there? A lot of our names, whether it be Steve or Rob, we'll just go Stevo, Robbo. Some people call me Edo. It's a fairly lazy way of speaking. A lot of our linguistics, but what else is there? It's really funny. You'll come here and you'll realise that we do say a lot of things different, and you'll be like, "What?"
Well, we were watching Alien Surf Girls, and we say you said takeaway, and we say like takeout. So I thought that was so cool.
and we'll say like, you guys will say it's hot out, and we'll just say it's just hot.
It's just hot.
So yes, there are certain terms that you'll notice in the show. Look, they try and write it a bit more broad, so it does take in the American market. So we would call, like they called the diner, we would call it like a cafe, or So I found that a bit. I guess it's just to be open to the world market, because at the moment it's being screened in Germany and Portugal and I had a list. I had a look before. There was like UK. Ireland. There's heaps that's been released in the moment, so I guess it needs to be open to all those different nationalities and.
Well, I really wish I could speak like that. Like just listening to you, it's like it's like addictive. I want to talk like that, but I can't, and it's like, I mean, if
let's schedule more calls then, okay? We'll.
If I move there though, like tomorrow, like would I start talking like that and picking it up, or is it like, do you have to be born there, or?
No, I have. My dialect coach is an American-born, but he moved over here and had his kids over here, and he can talk like an Australian, but then he falls straight back into the American. But it's really hard to pick up, I'll tell you that much. Like there's a lot of actors that I know that try and do an Australian accent, and they can only do the really ochre or g'day. They'll really just push certain words.
Yeah.
Where there's a way that we speak, and it's really unique. And I guess unless you've done it for 5 or so years, it's really hard to pick up. So I give you the challenge to come here and learn the Australian accent.
Wow, I don't know if I could do it, but I would love to. I would just love to. And I'm going to ask you, can you lose your accent? Is that easy for you? Can you just talk American?
It's easier to go into an American, yes. Now I got to put on the spot. I hate being put on the spot. Ask me a question.
Okay, how is your weather outside today, and how are you doing?
The weather is windy. It's, as I said, no higher than 55. No, I can't do it.
That's not bad. Because if you asked me to do Australian, I couldn't do it that well either. So it's like both ways. It works both ways.
That's right.
That was good, though. That was good. Thumbs up.
Thanks.
Then we have a couple get to know you questions for you now. So first off, go ahead and tell us something we may not know about you.
Well, I'm the youngest of 3. As I said before, firefighter. So I've done that for 7 years. One of my first jobs was working in an abattoir, so a slaughterhouse. So I used to push around meat. I did that for a couple of years. Then actually something you wouldn't know. I used to work in hospitality and worked backstage with certain famous artists, so Pink and Beyonce and Rihanna, Chris Brown, Taylor Swift. So I've dealt with a lot of them one-on-one. And when I was, before I even got into acting, so I love Taylor Swift, but I was too shy then. I was a nothing. I was just a student. So when I was dealing with her and giving her the drinks and food, I was a little bit starstruck. But now I'll be like, I could start a conversation for sure.
Oh, that is so neat. That is like one of the best answers we've heard so far. Like, that's a good one. And then also I'm going to ask you, do you have a prized possession or something you can't live without?
Whoa. I actually get asked that question a bit, like, is there something I travel with? Up until about a year and a half ago, there wasn't anything, but now there is. I carry a picture of my Oma, so my grandma, who passed away just as I started filming Lightning Point. So she never saw any of that. She never saw me getting into the acting. And she was really supportive of where I was going in my career. So I take a little photo with her everywhere. And I actually lost it. I lost the photo while I was on a horse ride in LA doing the hills, Hollywood Hills.
You're kidding.
And I put out a thing on Craigslist saying, hey, if you found my wallet, it's got a picture of my grandma. All I wanted was that picture back. Never got any reply. So it doesn't matter. I've got many pictures and I save it on my iPhone just as my screensaver. So that would be the one thing that I kind of...
Wow, that is so sweet. That is really sweet.
So it's, and I'll just have to have it with me all the time.
That's beautiful. And was she older?
Yeah, she was 88. No, not 82, sorry.
Okay. Older,
Yeah.
okay. I was going to ask you, you're eating, like we usually ask everybody favorite fast food restaurant. Do you have one?
Favorite here in Australia or in America when I was out there?
Either or. We'll take either or.
Okay. Look, I was brought up with no Macca's, no KFC, no Hungry Jack's or, Burger King. So when I first tasted that stuff, I was surprised with how good it was. I really enjoyed Macca's.
Mm-hmm.
I love pickles, so I really love that taste in a sandwich. In terms of my favourite, it'd probably be the most expensive. It'd probably be Nando's. But I don't do it often, though. I just love it. When I was in America, I liked In-N-Out burgers. I was surprised with their quality and their fries. They were great. Yeah, that'd be the only. Kind of In-N-Out was what I tried more than everything else. Subway is just, healthy, but...
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Good choices. And do you like eating healthy at home? Are you a healthy eater? Or?
Yeah, fairly healthy. Mum is always, like, we've got our own veggie patch and we eat a lot of meat, so it's just, we'll just go out, pick some of our veggies and cook them straight up. And I'll often cook instead of Mum, so whether it be steak and pumpkin and potatoes or, a veggie mash or a stump pot or a roast. It varies, but it's fairly healthy. We have cut out a lot of carbs, so being being potato. We put Dad on a little diet. He committed to losing 15 kilos, so we've all committed to like cutting out certain potatoes or breads out of our diets just to help him out. The only carbs we have is like almonds. Pick at almonds every so often, just to help him out.
And do you have a favorite food that you like cooking? Anything?
Look, I love steak. There isn't many steaks that I can bugger up. I mean, fail at. So we say bugger. Sorry, I'm not sure if you understand that.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so medium rare. Like, I love my steak medium rare, and I can do that with my eyes closed. I just love cooking steak. Is there anything else particular which more people can relate to?
I gotta just throw this out there. I mean, steak on the Barbie, on the Bobby.
Isn't see a lot of people do cook steak on the Barbie, but we've been brought up just on the frying pan, just on electric stove, on a hot frying pan, a bit of butter or oil, and so I can explain how to cook steak if you really want, but.
Interesting. Well, steak is like top-notch choice. Good choice.
Yeah.
Good one. So, and then also, what music are you listening to nowadays? Anything in particular?
Look, I'm fairly diverse, but recently I've been downloading a lot of girly stuff, I would say. I had kind of a little breakup, which has brought me into just listening to more lyrics than certain artist's voice, and I relate to a lot of girly songs at the moment. I won't say exactly what artists I've been listening to, but there's a couple out there. I really like Birdie. I got into her. I read an article on the way back from LA a couple months ago about Birdie, and she's 15 or 16, and I started downloading her songs and then downloaded her whole album. Absolutely loved that. She's got a unique voice. Look, One Direction. I actually liked one of their songs before I knew One Direction was singing it, so But look, they're a great band, and I actually do enjoy their music, and whether they write their songs or not, pretty cool lyrics.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Yeah, that's good. Like that, you kind of started listening to the lyrics a little bit more. So I do the same thing. I like dissect the lyrics. I'm like, what are they saying? So I do that definitely as well. So
I guess that's one of the reasons why they write music, is just so that they connect with the people out there, and we all got the same story, but we all can't sing and say how we feel, or So it's thankfully there are a lot of people that feel the same way I do, and there's like a million other people out there, and
Exactly. Yeah, you should start writing out your feelings like in lyrics. Yeah, write out a song. There you go.
I would, but I just don't know how to count the beats and what tune I would do it to, and I start to download instrumental versions and start to say my own little story, but I just can't do it. I just can't do it.
Can't do it. Well, maybe it'll turn out into a poem or something. How about that? Put the words together and...
Maybe I'll just leave it on the page. It sounds good. Yeah.
Exactly, right.
Yeah.
So, and then also, do you have a celebrity crush in particular? Anybody?
Actually, The Descendants, Shailene Woodley. That was my last little crush that I was like, oh, who is that girl? She's beautiful and is such a great performer. So I then Googled her and checked out what else she'd done and watched a couple of movies and kind of had a little crush for her, yes. Is that weird because she's 2 years younger than me? Not sure. But
oh, that's not weird.
Yeah, so that would be kind of my crush at the moment. Otherwise, it's still the next movie I watch, and yeah.
And then it'll change, yeah. And what do you look for in a girl? Anything in particular?
Ooh, that's a hard question. I don't want to say that I've got a checklist, but I guess we all do have a little checklist. I look for, trust is the biggest thing you need within a relationship. So it's just honesty and trust and openness. I'm fairly... I usually wear my heart on my sleeve, so I'm fairly open in how I feel, and if I don't get that back, then it's kind of, you're creating a boundary. So I rely on a lot of openness and honesty, as long as they've got a nice career direction, so they're not unsure of themselves, so they're actually, persistent with something in their life. That's always nice. I often fall for a lot of people that have had a hard upbringing for some reason, which is... Yeah, look, it's not a bad thing. It just creates a bit more emotional baggage and more colour in the relationship, I guess. And as long as they like me for who I am, not of who they perceive I am, or they understand that I am busy. I do a lot of things. Yeah, I'm a fairly romantic guy when it comes down to a lot of things. So as long as they appreciate that, rather than just kind of think, or if they speak how they feel, then I like that. So if I'm doing something nice, then say it, because I never know whether I'm actually getting approval or whether I'm actually appreciated what I do. So
there is a fine line. You're right about that. That is. I just not thought about that. You're never sure, right?
You never you're doing something good, but is it getting taken the right way, or is it seen as sleazy, or is it seen as this and that? Where really, no, I'm just being kind and thoughtful, and yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead and verify your Twitter name for everyone out there.
Yes, it is now Andrew_J_Morley.
Mm-hmm.
I changed recently, but yeah, that's what it is now.
And tell us, how do you like using Twitter?
I love it. I only just got into it a couple months ago. Now that I've got fans, it's really fun. You get proposed to, you get love from everyone, you get criticism, and it's good. I enjoy it, and I've got an iPhone, so a lot of the instant connection. I'm always getting notifications, and I do get every tweet, and I try and reply when I can, and retweet and favorite tweets, and yeah. So I like my fans. They keep me happy and cheerful when I'm doing a miserable job outside on the farm. I'll get a tweet and that's just made my day. Oh. I got my hands full of mud, and here we go.
It's all worth it.
It's right. Yeah, there's so much about social media. It's like Facebook as well. It's thankfully we've been brought up into an age which is just so free with worldwide contact. I could have a girlfriend in Canada if I wanted to.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So, and then go ahead and tell us your Twitter, and you have a Facebook and website. Anywhere else everyone else can reach you at?
Yeah, so my website is andrewmorley.com.au, and that's got all the links to my Facebook and Twitter. I think my Facebook's just Andrew James Morley, or Andrew J. Morley, I'm not sure. But either way, you'll find me if you just type into Google or something like that. Otherwise, my website, so andrewmorley.com.au. Let's get everything there. I've got a fan mail link if you want to send me fan mail. If you want me to send you a photo, just mail it to my agent, and I'll sign it and send it back.
Sounds great. Well, thank you so much, and everyone needs to tune in to watch Alien Surf Girls. Yeah,
or Lightning Point if you're in half the other world, like Australia and certain other countries are keeping the name Lightning Point, but all due respect for Americans calling it Alien Surf Girls.